Hello music lovers and conversationalists, welcome to the channel and welcome to a response video. This is in response to a video that I saw done a few hours ago by Anthony over at GMBLR812. Everybody knows and loves him, and he has a really interesting thread, if you will, and it is to show some music in your collection that people may not know you listen to or have in your collection, and I thought I would jump on this, and I thought I would do a little bit of a different take, not just in terms of music that I have in my collection, but also that has really shaped my love for music in general and has really played an important role in how I have learned how to play the piano and tried my best to honor the sound and songs of these particular musicians and their styles. And the first one that I'd like to share with you is one that you may know from the movie The Sting. And of course the music was real popular in the late 70s. It kind of was a revival, if you will, of the ragtime movement that was popular in the late 1800s, early 1900s, pretty much up until World War I and when Scott Joplin died. And of course I am talking about Scott Joplin, the king of ragtime composers, and the soundtrack here, The Sting, features so many great songs from Joplin that he composed, and Marvin Hamlish adapted to the movie. Scott Joplin is probably the biggest influence in my piano playing. He was the first musician that I really gravitated towards, and really enjoy his style of playing and his music, and what he's done for the American music scene in general. Another couple of albums that I have from him, or not albums, but CDs and whatnot. I also have the Sting on CD, such a great album to listen to, and I think you'll be able to see the songs a little better here. Sorry for the glare. But just a classic film in general as well. This next one is from Joshua Rifkin. This is the Scott Joplin digital ragtime featuring the Southland Stingers. This was one of the first CDs I ever bought, and it is still sounding good today. Last I knew, Joshua Rifkin was a professor at Boston University, and this has classics on here such as the Maple Leaf Rag, which when it was released back in 1899, I believe it was the first piece of music to sell 1 million copies in sheet music form, which is pretty amazing, I think. Then you have obviously The Entertainer, which we all know from the movie The Sting. The Easy Winners and Pineapple Rag are some of the more popular tunes of Joplin. And the next one is just a random CD that I bought with Joplin's music on here, and it has it's basically from piano rolls, classic ragtime songs from Joplin that were on piano rolls at one time. So there's the track listings here. The next two are kind of I guess in a way box sets, if you will, like mini box sets. They're 4 discs. This first one here is a Scott Joplin, his complete works with by composer Richard Zimmerman doing the recordings on here, and this is just the ultimate Joplin I think piece of music or works you should have in your collection. This has so much, not just the rags, but just everything: marches, waltzes, all sorts of good stuff. And what I really like about this is you get the little booklet, and it's really cool to just be able to read through each track and the information on here. Really just a nice little compact bit of information on the album itself and each song on the disc when it was composed and whatnot. It's just a really good all-in-one at your fingertips kind of travel booklet, if you will, but just great information to have if you want to read along when you're listening to the music. And this last one from Joplin that I have, this one here is a complete rags of Scott Joplin. It doesn't have any of the marches or the waltzes or cakewalks or anything like that. This is just Scott Joplin, complete rags from 1868 to 1917 when he lived and died. And the composer or the piano player on here is William Albright. And this is I believe it's just 2 discs. Yes, 2 discs on here. And some of the tunes on here are obviously Maple Leaf Rag, The Entertainer, The Easy Winners, Pineapple Rag. Some of the lesser known ones, the Country Club Rag, Wall Street Rag, Solace, and the Ragtime Dance. So this is another classic 2-disc set that I think should be in anyone's music collection. And this was given to me by my childhood piano teacher when I graduated high school, and I'm very grateful to have this more as a memento than an actual. I still do listen to it, but it's a memento in a way from my childhood years of playing. Before I move on to the next artist, just to show you how much of a influence Joplin has had on shaping my music, I have a really beaten up copy of all of Joplin's works. You can see I've taped this side here many times, and some of it is falling out here, like if you go to Maple Leaf, for example, it's falling out of the books, but just the way that he was able to compose, it's just something that still leaves me awestruck, that the music that he was able to put together in such a short period of time. Let me find a couple of others that are my favorites. Let's see here. The one that I'm currently bringing back to my fingertips is, I know I always walk by it, but it is called the Heliotrope Bouquet, which is a piece of music that was co-written with Scott Joplin and one of his students, Louis Chauvin, and this is an example of a slow drag, which really has a slow blues feel to it. It's just a beautiful piece of music, and I'll in the description I'll leave some links to some of my favorite tunes of Joplin's and other musicians that I'm going to be mentioning in a minute. But let's see. Yes, here it is. The famous Entertainer. And this actually is really cool because the beginning of this, you have a really nice intro written by Rudy Blesh, who was another great musician, composer, and whatnot, and really gives a nice biography of Joplin. So this is kind of like my Bible, if you will, and I really enjoy having this in my collection. And also, I bought a backup in case the other one completely disintegrates over time. So this is the backup copy. Next up, as I mentioned, I do play piano, And this next artist that has really been a mentor, teacher, and more importantly, a friend over the last 12 years. I discovered him on YouTube when I was looking for some piano players that taught blues and boogie woogie and other types of American songbook types of songs. His name is Matthew Ball. He is out of the Michigan area. He is known as the Boogie Woogie Kid on YouTube, and I'm fortunately going to get to meet him for the first time in person. I do all my lessons via Skype, if you will, and haven't had a chance to meet him in person in the 12 years that I've been taking from him, but that's going to change next month. So getting to meet a lot of my YouTube friends, if you will, in July, especially at MGK Colton's cookout. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys there. But Matthew Ball is so much of an influence on my piano playing that I don't know where I would be without him. He has shown me so much about boogie woogie and blues piano, whether it's 12-bar or 8-bar blues. And really just a more in-depth appreciation of the piano and everything piano related. And here are some of his albums. I have all of them, I think. And he has a live one here. He does a lot of classic Albert Hammond stuff, Meade Lux Lewis, Pete Johnson type piano blues and boogie woogie, but also a lot of New Orleans Professor Long here kind of music as well, who is one of my favorite piano players. And he is, like I said, just been so influential in my musical style of playing, and I'm really grateful that I found him, and I'm honored to call him a friend. This is one of two volumes that he released a couple of years ago. He puts a lot of cool spins on classic tunes that we all know and love, such as this album here. He will put a spin, like a boogie woogie spin on Waltzing Matilda. He does a great song version of In the Mood. I Never Was a Rich Kid is an original of his, I believe. He also has another original that I believe it's Owen's Blues, which is his son's name, or Owen's Boogie Woogie, I should say. Really cool tune. And he also does some classic stuff again, like Tipatina, and a lot of great tunes on here. We actually learned Waltzing Matilda. He taught me how to play that. And also, I Can't Help Falling in Love, which he puts a nice spin in the boogie style on there. But a lot of classics on here that he has kind of added his own vibe and flavor to. So, and this one here is one of the early ones. It's my favorite one. It's got classic tunes on here, such as Barrel House Blues, Swanee River Boogie, the Sheik of Araby, just some classic boogie woogie tunes. You can see the title or the track listings here. And his first album, Boogie Woogie Kid, and the track listings here. He is one of the best in the business when it comes to blues, boogie woogie, New Orleans style blues and piano music. Just an all-around nice guy, real class act, and one of the nicest people you're going to meet on YouTube and in general. And like I said, I can't wait to get to meet him in July. He'll be playing up in Maine, in York Harbor. So next we have an artist who I had heard of, but I never really learned any of his music until my teacher Matthew Ball introduced me to one of the greatest country music piano players to walk the earth. He is, as you know, legendary for basically developing the slip note technique in country music piano in which you play, or it sounds like you're playing the wrong note, and you quickly correct it with almost like a grace note or a slide kind of technique. And I'm talking about the legendary Floyd Kramer, who Elvis met during their time at the Louisiana Hayride series, or show I should say, and he would work with Elvis on several different songs, including Are You Lonesome Tonight, and I think that was the one that beat out his most popular song, Last Date, which I'll show you in a minute. But not only was Floyd Kramer an influential country musician, but he really has left his mark in music in general. When Floyd was asked by Elvis to join him and be his piano player on a permanent basis, Floyd, I guess the story goes, turned him down and went out on his own, and he became one of the most sought after, if not the most sought after, country piano player of his time. And some of the other songs that I really enjoy from Floyd Kramer are On the Rebound, which is this album here. And this is just a great album. It's got so many great songs on here. The San Antonio Rose tune is on here. He does a great version of Karina, Danny Boy. Just a classic album, and it is so much fun to listen to these piano players that I'm talking about today that have shaped my life in terms of music, and I'll be ever grateful for them. And here is the album Last Date, and they're just a stellar album to have in your collection. Just something really fun and I guess easy listening, if you will. And I believe the next one I have here is his first album that he released. But real quick before I let you go, I know I've been a little long-winded here, and Floyd has a grandson named Jason Coleman who does a show. He travels all over the country and plays in different venues across the country, and hopefully I'll get to see him live someday. But Jason Coleman started, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was right around the start of the pandemic. He started playing live in his living room at home, and every Sunday he and his wife will put on a show. His wife does all the behind-the-scenes stuff with the cameras, but Jason has a lot of music out. He does, like I said, I think it's an hour show on Sunday afternoons, and he also does a supporter night kind of thing, where if you're a member of his supporter group, you can watch one of his monthly shows that he does for his supporter members. But real quick, some of the music that Jason Coleman has put out. This is a tribute to Floyd Kramer, his grandfather. This is the early years of Floyd Kramer's musical career, and this is played on the first piano that Floyd had when he learned how to play as a kid. And then we have a 3-disc set of songs that are country gold, and it goes from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And then I'll get the second and third. There we go. And just really a very nicely done album of Jason and the talent that he has in carrying on the legacy of his grandfather, Floyd. And this is the first one that I picked up from Jason. This is a legacy. It's called Legacy. It's a tribute to his grandfather. And a lot of great songs on here. My favorite Floyd Kramer tunes are obviously Last Date, On the Rebound, The End of the World, Flip Flop and Bop, and the song that I really enjoy the most, and I don't see it on this one, is On the Rebound. And he just puts such a classic spin on songs that everyone knows and puts that Slipknot style in here. And last but not least, if you're still watching, I thank you for watching this long-winded video. This is I believe a 5-volume set of Jason Coleman's music. Disc 1 is simply piano with just classics on here. And what's cool is Jason has a son, Avery, who is about, I think he's 6 or 7 years old, and he will play with his dad on the show, on the Sunday show sometimes, and he'll be featured on some of the CDs that Jason has released. And he really has a nice ear for music, and really gravitates to the piano, and hopefully he'll continue to play his great-grandfather's music. And the last one I promise you for Jason Coleman, and the track listings. There are a few other threads that I've seen on YouTube this month that I'm going to jump on and get back into making videos. Kind of took some time off from that, but I am back. I got the perfect hair going. With great hair comes great responsibilities. Hopefully there are no colics or anything like that. Hope you're all having a great start to your summer. Looking forward to meeting so many of you at MGK Colton's BBQ in July. And until then, keep rocking, and I will catch you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.